Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Sunday, December 3rd, 2023, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Now Mind You podcast. Brah, brah. Booyaka, booyaka. This is episode 93,
What's wrong with
Combat.
y'all?
We didn't have a combat episode last week because it was a holiday. UFC had a bye week, so on and so forth. I mean, there were some boxing events, but we didn't cover them. And it's just what it is,
It
right?
was a holiday,
We
goddammit.
took a break. We took a break. We gave
I
you some
was
manga
deep
though.
in the itis.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is one way to put it. And with that, we will be covering today. Well, Matt's going to take us through the boxing event that happened last night, Garcia versus Duarte. Then, as a collective, we will be covering UFC Fight Night, Dariush versus Tsarukyan. Without wasting any additional time, Matt, please take us into the main event of last night's boxing card.
Last night we had Ryan Garcia versus Oscar Duarte.
Oscar Duarte.
Um, we saw, I guess you could say, what would be a new evolution in what's going to be,
Digivolve.
yeah, a new evolution in what's going to be Ryan Garcia's quote unquote new style going forward. This was his first fight back since his fight in April with Gervonta Davis that he lost via KO in the seventh round. That was also his first loss ever. So he was coming into this fight 23-1 against Oscar Duarte, who's a younger up and coming guy. Definitely was looking to take the shine off of a young Ryan Garcia, and there seemed to have been a decent amount of tension coming into this fight as it related to Oscar and by Oscar in this instance, I'm referring to De La Hoya.
Golden Boys having problems with
Yeah,
Garcia. I heard there
and
was some
Ryan
drama.
Garcia. Yeah, they got into it at the press conference, and Ryan kind of was sounding off on Oscar De La Hoya and on Bernard Hopkins, and just dealing with that and feeling as if they were bringing Oscar Duarte in to beat him, and they thought he was going to be the guy and all of that. Essentially, feeling like he wasn't being backed by the people that brought him in, and I kind of get where that's coming from. You kind of seeing a bit of a pattern, but that's a story in some respects for another time. So we bring in Oscar Duarte, and he's basically the guy that's now tasked with trying to steal this thunder from Ryan Garcia, 26-1, coming into this fight. With 21 KOs, seems like a viable option. And for the most part, he put up a pretty good fight. But when I say we were seeing this evolution in Ryan, we were seeing Ryan be a lot more defensively responsible, standing a lot more, utilizing a lot more of a Philly shell, a lot more of a bladed stance, not standing as overtly tall as he usually does, like has his knees kind of slightly bent. Definitely saw that he's been trying to do some sort of different training. He still had that signature kind of snappy speed. Definitely he's looking a little bit bigger. If I'm not mistaken, what weight was this fight at? If I'm not mistaken, this fight was also at lightweight at 35. But I think this actually was at 40, if I'm not mistaken. I think this was because he looks pretty big. But at any rate, we saw pretty much the signature speed. We saw a lot of good counters. Oscar Duarte pretty much just could not cut the ring off, and Ryan was really allowed to showcase his defense and his footwork because he wouldn't cut off the ring. And whenever he would kind of throw in combination, whatever Ryan didn't block, he would shift over into a Philly shell stance and kind of roll his shoulders. Ultimately, it was another one of these lightning quick counters that Ryan threw. And he threw actually while he was kind of off balance, recovering from blocking a shot. He kind of rips a right hook and it hits Duarte right on the temple, puts him on spaghetti legs, and Ryan finishes the job. So in the eighth round, Ryan ends up becoming victorious via stoppage. So Ryan stopped Oscar Duarte in 8 out of the 12 rounds coming out of this fight. And that's pretty much what I got for you guys on that front.
Cool.
TJ.
Thank you, Matt. With that, let us transition over to our UFC event. Of course, we're talking about UFC Fight Night Dariush versus Tsarukyan that took place in Austin, Texas. It was one of those fight nights that had Bruce Buffer, gave all the energy of a pay-per-view, but
Yes,
was a
he
fight
did.
night.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Shit, who do we have on this main event? We had, I want to say, 6 fights on this main card, and apparently prelims were
Is
cooking
that what you
too.
call them?
Yeah.
You call them fights?
There's a reason why Matt's saying this, and we'll get into it very shortly. But a lot of lightweight matchups in this card, if I'm being 100% honest. But we opened up with not Dariush versus Tsarukyan, Soriano versus Stoltzfus at middleweight, Guida versus Silva at lightweight. Then we had Brady versus Gastelum at welterweight. We had Font versus Figueiredo at bantam. We had Turner versus Green at lightweight. Then we had, for the main event, Dariush versus Tsarukyan at lightweight. With that, who wants to grab Soriano versus Stoltzfus?
Okay.
You know what? I'll go ahead. I'll start off with some. Y'all know I like my numbers. So middleweight fight. Soriano versus, I cannot pronounce his last name. Stoltzfus. Stoltzfus.
Just say Dustin.
Dustin, yeah.
That's his first name.
Middleweight fight. The fight was in Dustin's favor. He won via round 2, rear naked choke, 4 minutes and 10 seconds into the second round. Y'all know I like my numbers, so let's go through it. Total significant strikes. Soriano had 31 out of 73. Dustin had 64 out of 123. Head strikes. Soriano had 18 out of 56. Dustin had 24 out of 79. Body strikes. Soriano had 9 out of 11. Dustin had 23 out of 27. It was those kicks. Legs, 4 out of 6. And then legs, Dustin had 17 out of 17. Them joints were connected. When it comes to control, Dustin had a total of 2 minutes and 12 seconds. He had 4 out of 7 takedowns, and of course, he got the submission. Soriano was just out like just dominated. It seemed like Dustin's pace was better. I in the fights that I seen, Soriano was going for some major bombs, but they didn't really land like that. Maybe he was just trying to get him out of there. It didn't work. TJ pointed out something later on during the decision that I think he should be the one to point out. Just a matter of just being the performance just being completely solid, just complete control over Soriano. Good job by Dustin. That's all I got for this one. I did see that Soriano did try to in the first round, he had it looked like he put his soul into one punch. Like he was trying to get him out of there, but he missed and he ended up getting a semi nut shot. So that's a morale killer right there. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I'm opening up to the table. TJ, did you want to go into it next?
DJ?
I guess
Sorry,
not.
my bad. I was muted. I thought Stoltzfus wasted no time in neutralizing that Hawaiian power, and listen, he just disrupted Punahele's footing, made it really hard for Soriano to use any of his tools. Dustin got that buzzer beater style drop at the end of the first round, and ultimately ended up grabbing that single leg that spelled the beginning of the end in the second round. Grab Puna's back and then just hit that nasty rear naked choke.
Didn't you get the single leg in the first round too?
Yeah. Well, yep. I don't know. Punahele had some pretty good takedown defense in that first round. I'd have to rewatch it.
Yeah, he did.
But I was surprised Punahele survived that rear naked choke for as long as he did. That was intense. Matt, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was intense. I mean, ultimately to put him down with that right hand like that and then jump on his back, shit like that to me is always the crazy thing in MMA, right? Like a guy can like just rock you and just like fuck, you can hit the deck and it's like, no, this is not done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like imagine getting hit perfectly on the chin with that right hand, like he did, trying to get your bearings together, and while you're trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, the floor from the ceiling, a guy's wrapping his arm around your neck and he chokes you out. Shit is nuts. That's my thoughts.
It is nuts. It is nuts. It's like
Unintended.
that madness.
Sorry. No, no pun intended. All right.
Nope. Yeah,
So no, just me. Guida versus Silva. We had Clay Guida versus Joaquim Silva. We had the Carpenter from the US, Silva from Brazil. Clay Guida is about to turn like what, 42 or 41 or something like that. This is like 60 something appearance in the UFC. And let me tell you something. He looked in shape, man.
Yeah.
It's really hard to tell that he's in his 40s. I will say that much. And he definitely had the crowd behind him in this one. Now, basically, the fight consisted of, to me personally, Guida controlling the pace and the grappling, at least the takedowns and the wrestling aspect, and Silva just kind of hanging in there and finding opportunities here and there to deal some damage. If you look at every round, for the most part, except for maybe the third round where it felt like Silva was turning it up a little bit more on the feet, it looked like a case of no, it didn't look like, it was a case of the veteran versus the young gun. However, the veteran in this case has like an unlimited gas tank. Guida kept, if you can't tell, I was rooting for Guida. I mean, he's also from Chicago and he's been around for the longest. And it's like at a certain point, it's like you just want to see him succeed, man. He kept on putting the pressure on Silva from jump. Very good usage of like moving forward, keeping his head off the line, using very awkward movements to keep Silva guessing. It's like, is he going to shoot? Is he going to kick? Is he going to punch? So on and so forth. Like Silva was having a hard time getting Guida's number. And sure enough, it was like punch, punch, and then I'm going to hit this treetop single leg, get you to fall on your fucking head, and then try to control him. Now, this is where I think oftentimes the situation got out of Guida's control. It's because it's like he had the first half of the formula down pat. Strike, set up your takedown, get the takedown completed. But then that's where he kind of lost, in that to me at least, it seemed like he had no follow through after the takedown. Like, you got the takedown, so now establish control, either set up your submission or at least get a dominant position to start raining down some tyranny from up above. And it ended up being he had the takedown, then would somehow fumble it, or Silva would scramble onto Silva would scramble onto Guida's back, or just hold the guillotine and make Guida suffer, either through trying to hold that choke or through hitting him with some like bombs or some knees. But to Guida's credit, he would get back on his feet every single time, and he would like be ready on the break. Like, he's a veteran for a reason. Ultimately, the fight ended with a unanimous decision win for Silva, which I thought was a little strong, because personally, I think it was a super competitive fight. I thought it was pretty close, in all honesty. And I think that Guida got robbed. That's what I feel. I'm gonna pass it over. Who wants it, Matt?
I'll say
Thank you, Bryce.
I'll get my details. So, to me, I agree with you. It's just, to me, whenever Guida was so busy, but every time Guida got rocked, he got rocked. Like, I felt like he was about to drop 82nd, and I feel like the judges kind of saw that too. Or maybe it was just his way of like trying to keep the takedown going. I just don't know what it was, but I just feel like that was kind of why the judges were moved towards Silva's favor, because I thought the card was different. How it break down. It was 28. It was 3 rounds for Silva. I didn't realize that.
That was a little wild to me.
Yeah, that's wild. But looking at the numbers, no, it's still pretty wild because we still kind of going back in that conversation, right? So, significant strikes, Guida got 43, Silva got 46. Head strikes, Guida got 19, Silva got 33. Of course, body strikes, Guida got 14, Silva got 9. Leg strikes, Guida got 10, Silva got 4. And Guida had 4 minutes of control.
That's what I'm saying. Like it feels like they didn't factor that grappling at all.
I mean, yeah, I feel like the judge is always going to go with striking more so than grappling, which at this point is just kind of ridiculous because if you got 4 minutes of control time, that's a whole round. Like, how would you even win a round at that point?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really think it came down to just Guida just taking some hard ass shots and looking like he might fall any minute. That's just how it looked to me.
But that's also like he does that, Like, I don't know.
Yeah. But never leave it to the judges.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like in some of the instances when he was engaged in the grappling, though, like, I don't know. It's hard to not give him. It's hard to not score him for grappling and for engaging in grappling exchanges and winning some, because at the same time you are giving points for the reversal of the grapple, and for the top control and stuff. And it's not as if he wasn't getting any control, but I think kind of more or less on the lines of what y'all said. Like, it seemed like when he was in trouble, he was like on knocking on death's door,
Yeah. Well, isn't the next fight kind of the example of what you kind of what the best situation for grappling would be?
Oof.
Like, I guess that's what the judges want to see if you're gonna grapple somebody.
But that ultimately ended in a finish. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Big one. But you're right. It is a good example of actual control from takedown to position. So
yeah,
you are correct, sir. Speaking of which,
we were talking about Brady versus Gastelum, welterweight fight.
Oof.
This just was not Gastelum's night. I want to say this is his second fight back, right? Because I know he won did he win his first fight back?
When was the last time I even saw Kelvin Gastelum fight, bro?
Because I fought in April.
I had a hiatus.
Yeah, he fought in April. He fought against Chris Curtis. He beat him.
Was that main card or prelims? Because it might have been the one that
it ended up winning fight of the night. It was on 287.
Yep, right here. So yeah, this was his second fight back.
Bryce, I can't see your screen. You said it right. I was there with you. It's like, dog.
Yeah, so he fought he was the main event of the prelim for 287.
I missed the prelims.
Yeah, he was on the main event for the prelim. The 287 is Alex Pereira versus Adesanya 2.
But yeah, so Brady versus Gastelum. Brady completely dominated Gastelum for 3 rounds. Absolutely. Once he got back on the ground, there was nothing Gastelum could do. And yeah, there's really nothing else to kind of cover it. It was a round 3 submission win for Brady via Kimura. It looked
via what?
It looked crazy.
What you call that submission, dog?
Kimura. That's what I'm reading off of the website. It wasn't a Kimura. That's not what it's called.
No, the second way you pronounced it was the correct way. The first way was wild.
The first way you said it was wild.
What did I say?
You said Kimura. I was like,
Kimura.
Yeah, I was like, how did you even get that, dog?
Kimura. Sounds like a fucking anime attack. Kimura. Yeah. Y'all know I like my numbers. Total strikes. Brady got 97 out of 130. Kevin only got 21 out of 35. Significant strikes. Brady got 14 out of 24. Kevin got 18 out of 32. Brady got in 8 head strikes, 1 body shot, 5 leg strikes. Kevin got 7 head strikes, 7 body shots, 4 leg shots. Brady had 9 minutes and 6 seconds of control time. Kevin only had 19 seconds. 5 out of 5 takedowns via Brady and 3 submission attempts. And of course, he got the Kimura win round 3. So just wasn't his night. Wasn't Kevin's night. I am a fan of Kevin, but might just be a case of just the division evolving while you're gone, and you don't really have any control over that. You can only.
I mean, Sean Brady was gone for a long time too.
Did Sean Brady just come back?
Yeah, last time he fought was October 2022.
So
I mean, he wasn't gone as long as
right.
Gaslam was from TKO. That division, but he was dealing with injuries, my guy.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, he lost to Bilal. That was the last fight Bilal had. That's crazy. Yep, TKO. It was funny actually. I was just seeing people talking shit about that. All right, Bilal did get a win off of Gilbert Burns in May. But yeah, people talking shit about Brady losing to Bilal, which is crazy. People just don't want to give Bilal that respect. But all right, whatever. But yeah, no, this was a good showing for Brady. And what he does next will be very interesting. But I'm gonna pass this along. I'm gonna open the floor up. What did y'all think, gentlemen?
Domination, man.
Domination. Yeah.
It was like Kelvin's leg didn't even belong to him at some point. Brady was like, I need that, and would just get the single leg.
Yeah.
I am not exaggerating. Was it round 2 where he just immediately cinched it, like the round barely started. He's like, thank you. That's cool. Hey, say hi to the ground right quick. Let me just shut you down so that you either give me your back or you give me mount. Either way, it's my time.
Give me it.
Yeah. That's basically what this whole fight was. And he got it too. Ripped his shoulder in half.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So I guess we're going into the next one.
This is Matt. This is Matt. Go ahead, sir.
Oh yeah. All right. Our next one is Deiveson Figueiredo versus Rob Font. Now, if that seems kind of crazy to you to hear that on paper, because hey, wait a minute, there are 2 different weight classes. Not anymore. David Figueiredo has now moved on to bantamweight, which is 135 pounds. And he was looking to crack himself into the top 10. And he went up against number 8, Rob Font. Rob Font is a member of the New England Cartel gym out there in Boston, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty much a gym he's been with for a long time. Teammates with Calvin Kattar. And Deiveson Figueiredo, Brazil, former world champion, former 2-time world champion, if I'm not mistaken. And was looking to go up into another weight class and hopefully work his way up through their top 10, top 5, and ultimately become a champion. First round, Rob Font was really getting his jab going. And, there's a significant height disadvantage there that's going on. So even though the reach disadvantage isn't crazy, the disadvantage on height is just enough that it kind of aids, obviously, the taller fighter. And I think at some point or another, while on the outside, they just kind of made the realization that Rob Font, I feel like while Deiveson Figueiredo was being held on the outside with that jab by Rob Font for a while, I think he realized, like, this guy either is A, not going to pull the trigger, or B, doesn't hit hard enough to deter him. And he literally just proceeded to fight him like all he needed was one punch. And every round at the end of like maybe about the last 20 to 15 seconds, he would just let off this barrage that was completely negating whatever attack Rob Font would do while he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I would really only gave Rob Font the beginning of round 1. Not even all of round 1. And everything after that was all Eddie. So that's pretty much where I was at with it, because eventually what ends up happening is like Davidson Figueredo just bullies Rob Font like he did everybody else at 25. Like TJ put in the chat when we were talking about it, like, is it the camera angle or is Figueredo like bigger than Rob Font? You're not tripping. Like, he's bigger. Like, even in the grappling exchanges, it was very clear that he was stronger than him. You know, I think the one thing he couldn't do is just kind of push Rob Font around, like he does some of those other 25ers. But yeah, man, overall, this was crazy. Davidson Figueredo came out with the win. He damn near stops Rob Font in that third round, landing like a really hard right hand. He lands a really hard right hand on them close to the end of the second round as well, when he gets off a pretty good combination. But overall, like, this was it was one-way traffic for Davidson Figueredo. Sorry. I will pass it over to TJ.
I don't really have much to add, man. It just looks to me like Figueiredo should have been in this weight class a long time ago, but the Moreno saga. He was stronger, bigger, and it was just 3 rounds of pure domination. He even dropped him. Was it round 2 or was it round 3 where he had Font up against the cage and he was just kind of teeing off on him? I think he wobbled him with an uppercut, and it was just a matter of time, but Font somehow survived. It was just, one-sided traffic or one-way traffic. Bryce?
It's very rare that I've ever seen someone get punched and it looks like their system reset for a second while they were. That is what happened when Figueroa got his hands on Rob Font. He hit him just one good time, and Font just reset real quick. He had to restart. The bantamweight division got a problem on their hands. Figueroa might fuck around and get that belt very soon. That's gonna be interesting to see.
Top 5 of bantamweight is looking kind of spicy though.
This whole shit is crazy.
Marab, technically speaking, Aljamain. Of course, we got O'Malley. Cejudo's in that mix too. Wait, is Cejudo ranked?
I don't know.
But probably not. Then Figueiredo's in that mix, man. It's like, oof. About to be wild.
Can you believe that, like, the bantamweight has one of the well, it's not hard to believe, but just like the competition that's coming out of the bantamweight is just something to watch.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's cool that the divisions are growing. Who wants to do the next one?
Bryce, did you say you wanted to do Turner versus Green?
Sure. Let's talk about it. So you've all probably already seen it. Round 1 KO. Jalen caught Bobby Green. I think it was like a hook, and then
it's crazy that you mispronounced the word murder like that, but okay.
Yeah, it was.
Round 1 murder, I think is what you want to say. Round 1
murder. It didn't have to go down like that.
Jalen murder.
But the ref apparently got something against Bobby Green.
For real, Jalen the Tarantula murder.
Yeah,
man, that shit was hard to watch.
It was, man, and I don't know if y'all remember. I said it. I don't know if I sent it, but I was just like, Bobby's going into this fight with Jalen Turner. His hands are down, and Jalen just has so much reach on you.
Well, here's the thing, though, man. Like, Bobby closed the distance, like, at the start. He found a way in.
Crazy. Yeah, he was. He definitely did. I think he got him twice. Just kind of came through. And actually, Bobby got caught. The thing that stunned him was the fact that he did get back in. He just got caught with something that kind of shook him. It took a second too. It took a second for Bobby to kind of be off his legs, and then Jalen got him with that 1-2, and then 4-5, 6-7.
And then he looked at the ref, and the ref like put his thumb across his neck, like keep going. I was like, oh.
That ref played too much Mortal Kombat. It felt like he should be like Shao Kahn, and in UFC.
He's like, hey, I need a new soul real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to finish this Playboy.
I'm gonna need you to take him to the shadow realm. Yeah, man. It was a good showing by Jalen. I don't think Bobby really lost anything in this fight because he wasn't supposed to fight Jalen in the first place. He was supposed to fight Dan Hooker. So you know, good for Jalen. It's good PR for him. Hopefully we'll see him in another fight because clearly he didn't even take any damage in this, and it's probably be a minute before we see Bobby again. But people love Bobby, and he's starting to get like main event co-main money. So let's do it. Like we'll see Bobby again. Yeah. Does anyone have anything they want to add?
Matthew?
I guess not.
Well, I got something to add. I 100% think that Bobby should sue that ref because that was wild as hell. It's like the worst fucking stoppage, but yeah, I don't know.
That was wild. It was wild.
Yeah. Like if he can sue that ref, sue that ref. That's all I had.
Yeah. Dana talked about it at the press conference. The ref was like, "Yeah, I fucked up. I don't think that really helps anything, but as long as you know, motherfucker." Yeah.
I guess. Damage is already done.
Bobby Green like, "What's that gonna do about my hand, motherfucker?"
All right, well, shall I take us into the main event?
I have a nice little segue. After that fight, I know Armand came in there with a lot of momentum. Hell of a lot of morale.
A little bit of Armand Hammer, if you will.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was good. That was good. Good on you. Good stuff. Yeah. Y'all want me to introduce it?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's go. Okay. All right. My bad. Main event at the lightweight bout. Beneil Dariush versus Arman Tsarukyan.
Come on, Bryce, pronouncing it.
I can pull it out sometimes. I don't know if I said it right, but I felt like I did.
Whoa.
Relax, Matt. He didn't mean it like that.
I know.
What else? Okay. Beneil's coming off of a loss from Charles Oliveira, and Arman is coming off of a win off of Joaquin Silva, who fought earlier on the card. Via TKO. So he's clearly he has a motive. So there's really not much to say. This ended in a minute. This has just not been a good showing for Beneil Dariush for the last couple of fights. With the momentum he had and just how big of a switch it's been, it's insane. Beneil got taken out via a knee and a cross. First round in 1 minute and 4 seconds, and he was out cold. Better than the Jalen versus Bobby Green fight because they stopped it. But
Mark Smith put his life on the fucking line, bro.
He got in there in a way that you would hope the referee gets in there.
Right.
Yeah. Like, stop, bro. That's enough.
He's like, you don't see me covering his body, nigga? Damn. Stop hitting him.
Start swinging off the ref next.
I need more. I need more blood. I need battle. Respect.
I'm trying to see a body tonight.
It's like, whoa.
Okay. Like, okay, well, I should have done a thorough background check.
He got cold cops. Not a good shot.
Look, I said this before the recording started. I said this to Matt. Bryce, you're gonna hear this for the first time, but I just think it's crazy how Beneil Dariush walked out to that Christian music Armin Tsarukyan was like, "Oh, you like Jesus? Let me send you to him."
Damn.
That's what happened.
Rudolph.
Damn.
That's what fucking happened.
That's crazy. If you wanted to meet the Lord, why did you just say so?
It's just so fucking like, geez, dude. What's crazy to me, it's like, it wasn't even the knee that did it. He threw a right hand without having 10 toes on the ground, dude. He only had 1 foot on the ground when that right hand got launched. How powerful is this dude, man?
Who knows, man?
He said, no weight shift, not a problem. Bad credit, no credit. Get this fist.
Hoopla!
Indeed.
I feel like Armand made a noise.
Hoopla. Yeah, man. I don't know. I thought this card overall was crazy.
It was, yeah.
I thought it was everybody came to fight. Well, I mean, obviously they all come to fight, but you guys get what I mean. Like everybody just seemed like was looking for the finish. I even was hearing about the stuff on the prelims was kind of like that too.
Somebody got fucking picked up and slammed.
In fact, the prelims was all finishes. I'm looking at it now. Submission, TKO, 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 submission. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Has it been a streak of cards now where it's been over 75% finishes?
I think like the last few we've been watching has been like that.
Even the pay-per-views, I want to say, have been
we've been getting a lot of
insane.
stoppages. Lots of stoppages.
Christmas, they need them bonuses.
Anybody, what was your favorite fights?
It's a good question.
Well, there was really only one fight on the card. The rest of it was just domination in different form, one way or another. I guess I'll say Benil versus Armand, only because you rarely get knee takedowns, knee knockouts like that. I mean, it wasn't the knee that knocked him out, but it was the knee that started. So I like the good.
I mean, it would have been Guida versus Silva for me.
Damn.
But I would say if I had to pick favorite fight on the main card, man, Brady versus Gastelum was just pure domination.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that one. Matt.
I think I'll go with I was gonna go Jalen Turner or Bobby Green, but that stoppage, man, was just so bad
taste. Yeah,
man, it just put a bad taste in my mouth. And then I didn't like how how do you say it?
Tsarukyan.
Tsarukyan. I didn't like how Tsarukyan was moving this past weekend, so
it wasn't great. Yeah,
can't do that. So yeah, I think I'm settling for the Sean Brady as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that Sean Brady joint. With that said, we got more fights next week. Next week we got UFC Fight Night. Song Yadong versus Gutierrez. We got Song Yadong versus Chris Gutierrez as the main event. The co-main event is Anthony Smith versus Khalil Roundtree.
That's the only way to say Khalil's name, by the way, folks. You have to channel some type of darkness.
Yeah, you really do. After that, Kevin Gastelum. I
mean, shit, he's back again. No, you said what you said. I agree with it. Right. I agree with it. Oh shit, Iron Turtle. Is that his nickname?
Mm-hmm.
Jun Young Park back again. Man, that dude's got hands, bro.
He does.
Versus Andre Muniz.
On the boxing tip next week, we got the long-awaited title fight between Regis Prograis and Devin Haney for the WBC welterweight title. So definitely going to be covering that over on that boxing tip. And that pretty much sums up what we'll be covering next week. And that wraps up this week. So thank you guys so much for rocking with us. This has been another episode of the Now Mind You podcast. This was the Combat Edition. You can follow us all on social media. You can follow me at Matt Hambrick. That's MattHambric, TJ.
You can find me on the social media application c'est un logiciel, how do you say it in English? I believe it is Instagram. My handle is just for skate. That is TUSS number 4. In French, we say quatre. I was struggling with this last time as well. The line, it looks like the minus symbol but bigger under the words. Underscore, yes, underscore SKATE. Thank you. Merci beaucoup, Matt. Where can they find you, Bryce?
Look here, you rude poo, son bitch. If you look at
Sacré bleu.
if you looking for the main man, Bryce Coachman, you can find him on Instagram at Ashe
Stone Cold Coachman.
That's AXE_ONCA Bay. Some bitches. Where can they find Now Mind You Podcast?
And you guys can find us at the Now Mind You Podcast, wherever you guys like to find your social media and wherever you like to get your podcast. And with that, we will see you guys next week. Be safe. Peace out.
I better see you, or I will open up a can of whoop ass. Oh, you, your family, your kids, your kid, your friends, all of them. I better see you.
That's the bottom line. Peace.
Peace.
Oh my God.